Hey everyone!
Hey.
Hello.
So we decided to do what we have done the last few Bibliothons and do a little bit of a pre-live show so we can just sort of chat about our TBRs, what videos you or us are excited for, if you have any questions, and overall just to talk about how excited we are for this. And today I guess we will go down the line, which I should have established prior to starting this, but I'm Red from Little Red Reader, and it goes Dylan, Sierra, Kelly. But
okay. And I'm Dylan from Dylan is Reviewing, not Dill the Reader, which it used to be, but anyway.
Hi, I'm Sierra. I do not post on BookTube any longer, but you can follow me on my Instagram. It's Sierra_Gash.
And I'm Kelly from Kelly's Booksville.
Also, I highly recommend following Sierra's Instagram. She posts really cool yoga videos and whatnot, and like yoga pictures and whatnot. She's really good, so it's really interesting to follow. It's very inspiring.
It's red. It's cute.
How many of you have posted your TBRs, or if you plan to? I mean, I know Sierra won't, but
Sorry.
I posted mine. Mine just went up yesterday.
Mine went up like last week, I think, or the week before that. I don't know. I love doing TBR, so I always post them like a month in advance.
What is y'all's goal for how many books you're going to read during the week?
I don't. How many are on my list? I have to look.
We have 8 challenges.
Oh, and then to reply to Sky Angel Books, the read-a-thon starts. Okay, going according to Pacific Standard Time because that's where most of us are, but it starts this Thursday, which is July 11th. It runs through Friday, July 19th. And then on Saturday, July 20th is when we have the live show for our group book, Aurora Rising. So we have less than 2 days until the start of the Bibliothon, which snuck up on me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Me too. It's been so long since I've done anything like BookTube related, and I just feel like such a noob. I'm like, oh my god, I don't know how to do anything. I can't believe they're trusting me to be a host, but I don't know how to do anything.
But I'm just so happy you're back, though. Like, I will take this, like, newbie, gotta relearn how to do everything. Like, I'm just so freaking happy you're back. Like, I was so happy when you said yes.
It's so cool to just have all the old hosts back.
I know.
For the final one. I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we stayed friends, like, outside of it and everything, but, you know, it's special, you know?
Nostalgic, you know? It's like a whole part of my life that I kind of just, like, moved on from, and to come back to it just feels so, like, interesting.
Surreal.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's so strange. And it's like, even now, knowing it's the final one is still strange to sort of get used to, because I feel like, I mean, one, this is, we've been doing this for 5 years, so
wow.
This is
pretty much since I started BookTube, so it's really weird.
Yeah, we've been doing
me too.
A long time as far as like YouTube goes, I guess, you know, and it is such a significant part because I feel like we really like pour ourselves, like whether or not you were here for, you know, part of it and then left, like, you know, and, so many people eventually did, but at any given point, whoever the hosts were, we've always like poured so much of our energy and ourselves, sometimes to the point of maybe not always being healthy at certain times, but it took a lot of energy from us, and like it's hard not to love something you pour so much of yourself into, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's why too, because like this is our final one, and a lot of people are asking about it. Some people are a little bit upset about it, but I mean, it's just, I feel like it's just time. There are so many read-a-thons for everyone to participate in. Like there's pretty much one going on year round. Like there's plenty of things for you guys to find. Like the Twitter community is awesome. It's just a lot of work. I don't think you guys like, I mean, no one really sees the back end, you know, like we're constantly talking, we're constantly making all these like plans and trying to rearrange everyone's schedules. Like it's just a lot for.
Yeah, because at any given time, we always have 7 hosts. And when we're all, I mean, all of us at this point, like maybe it started off where we had like maybe a couple of, you know, like teenagers at some point that maybe really all they had to worry about was school, which is don't really stressful enough, but you have that schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, most of us were already adults, or the few younger hosts we had grew up in that time period. So now we're either people with full-time jobs, sometimes a couple of jobs, sometimes a job in school. Like, it's hard. And it's it was not an easy decision. It was absolutely, like, I don't think it's a decision that anybody took lightly. I can't even imagine when you left couple years back or whatever. I can't even imagine that was a super easy decision for you at that time. I think
really hard because it was a huge part of my life at that point in time, and it was kind of like giving up a huge chunk of it. But it just, like, life was so stressful with doing both, because when you work 40 hours a week and you're also doing school, like, it's just a lot.
Mm-hmm. And especially, and then when you start adding in very drastically different time zones into the mix, it just was making it more difficult. We have hosts that are, they really care about BookTube and everything, but when they're also working on building their careers, and that is, their other passion, is what they're doing outside of this, that is something that they're building their lives around. I don't think we can really begrudge anybody for, trying to better themselves in their lives. And we just don't want to see this dwindle into, we just don't
have no effort put into it.
Yeah, because, we're not able to put in as much as we want to. If we could all make, somehow, like, be able to spend all of our time doing this, we might, but it's just not real life, unfortunately.
We're hoping to go out with a bang. So
yes,
exactly.
We're happy you guys are here to join us.
So we're just hoping that you guys understand, and that we'll still be around. She's got her Instagram and Twitter. The rest of us have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. So we'll still be around. It just not the Bibliothon anymore. But know that we love everyone, and it's been so special whether you just found us and you're participating and you're taking the extra effort to come in for the final one, or if you're one of the ones that has been around since the very first one, which still kind of blows my mind. But our little read-a-thon that we thought nobody was going to actually take part in.
Yeah, and I have other read-a-thons too I host, but, like, this is a lot more involvement.
Yeah.
It was like Cramathon, for example. It wasn't mine originally, it's Whitney's.
Right.
But, like, now that it is, it's still a lot, but it's not, like, as involved. We don't have, like, video challenges. We don't have, like, like 20 hosts. So, like, it's a lot. So it's,
and, like, as a host too, like, it's such a crazy week. Like, if you have a work schedule, oh my god. I just have to say, like, we have to put out a video every single day. We have to watch all of our, we changed it because we used to have to watch all of our host videos, like, within a day. At least when I used to do the Bibliothon, we had to watch all of them that day.
Yeah, we changed.
Decide a winner. Now at least we have a week, but we're also supposed to read 7 books within that time. Like, it's insane. Yeah. So for all of you that do read 7 books, like, oh my god, hats off to you, because you guys are incredible.
Yeah, we have it set up now, so, like, you basically that way, because that was the problem, none of us were reading.
Right.
We created, we weren't reading, so that's why we changed it, so that for video challenges you now have 2 weeks from when you're from when, I believe that's right?
I think from when it ends, we have 2 weeks to pick.
Yeah, I think recently we changed it to the 2 weeks. That way we didn't have to spend the entire week watching videos in order to have it ready and up for the next week, and it gave us time to, like, film the winners and everything, but it gives you an entire week to watch them, choose, and, outside of the Bibliothon.
Yeah, and since my challenge is vlogs are so freaking long.
They are.
So I'm going to have to, set out a weekend just to watch, which I love. Like, vlogs are my favorite things on BookTube, but
it's
time
consuming, even if you like it,
See, I like to try to watch the other challenges, but it's where so many people participate now. I feel like I only have time to watch the challenges posted on my host day, and I want to watch everybody else's challenges.
Yeah.
So, how many books is everyone planning to read, and what book are you most excited to read on your TBR?
I'll go first. I'm going to read 8. I'm going to try to read 8 books, but I've only read 9 books for the entire year so far, so it's going to be a stretch. And then my most exciting one is Lock Every Door by Riley Baker. I'm really excited for that.
I'm so excited to read that book.
Because he's
if you
amazing.
Don't end up reading it, we're going to buddy read.
Yes.
I think I have 4 chosen books on my TBR, and then like I left the wild card kind of open-ended, because I don't know. So it'll be a current read or just really whatever I feel like without having to worry about it fitting a challenge. I'm pretty excited for Aurora Rising. I almost want to see Daisy Jones, but I've already read it, and so I already know I love it. But maybe The Wicked King, because it's been sitting on my shelf and I haven't had time to get to it. So it'll be nice to like have a reason to finally get around to picking it up, because I've had 0 time to read it.
I plan on reading. I only plan on reading 2 books, and that is even a stretch for me right now. I plan on reading the group book Aurora Rising, and I'm also hoping to read Daisy Jones and the Six. Is that what it's called? Everyone's talking about it. I know
also, I don't know.
Great. I have it here.
And if you want to get through it faster, if you're able to get a hold of the audiobook, what I did while reading it before, I'm actually going to be re-listening to the audiobook during the week, because it's like I'm familiar with it and it'll be easy to like listen to it quickly.
Right.
But I would literally read it and have the audiobook on like 2.25 speed or whatever, something like that. And it was fast, so I got through it quickly, but it was still really well read. So I got through the book really quickly, but it's a really good audiobook. Even if you just listen to the audiobook, it's a really good audiobook.
So for mine, it's kind of a long explanation. So I'm trying to read 6 or 7 books. Probably not going to happen because I don't read anymore. And I'm trying to read the group book. I'm trying to get the audiobook from my library. My new library kind of sucks once I moved, so we'll see if that happens. And so one of the books I want to read is The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren, but I've actually already started it, so like it's kind of cheating saying I'm really excited to read it because I'm reading it right now, but I'm not going to finish it before the Bibliothon starts, so I'm still going to count it as finished. Or Girls on the Verge, which is the host pick one, which is okay, it's my host pick. I'm just going to reread my own host pick because
I'm doing the same thing. It's okay.
Yeah. Or Lucky by Garrett Lee, which is like totally like a smutty, like queer football book. So that or Diary of the Wimpy Kid, which is like totally 2 different extremes. But I mean, Diary of Wimpy Kid is going to take me like 2 seconds to read it. So like I've had to put on my TBR because they're really cute and they're really fun.
Benefit of a graphic novel challenge, you can get them. They're really good, but you can get them faster. Or if you just need a break from like intense reading,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited to read because like I have a poetry book, so that can't take very long, right?
No.
We'll see about that actually, but.
And I mean, I have all these books. I doubled up on pretty much every challenge that I could double up on. 5 years, and I've never read. I think the most I've read during any of the Bibliothons, and I do not expect this year to be any different, is 4 books. It's like the most I've ever read for a Bibliothon.
I think
I've done 2 where I've read a book for every challenge. I'm gonna try for the final Bibliothon. Try to end it off with a bang.
You go, girl. I think the most I ever read was 6, and I was proud of that. I was like,
oh, yeah.
That's really good, though. Like I said, I've never done that. Like, I feel like I read 4 and I almost died.
I think that was a Bibliothon where it like just so landed in a week where I literally had nothing to do. It just was like, I'm gonna sit and read and not move at all.
I started a new job and I'm only working like a little bit under full time during the summer because like I live in a college town, so like nobody's here during the summer. So I won't be working as many hours, but I'm working like in the middle of every day. And so I either have like late at night to read or like super early in the morning. So we'll see how that works out. Me and Kelly might have to do some more of like our little live reading sprint things to force ourselves to read because I know how I am. I know how she is. We're gonna get distracted by video games or something, so we need to
100%.
like keep ourselves accountable.
Also, I don't know.
That's why I haven't read at all. It's because I've watched Fortnite too much. That's all I do.
Oh, I understand. Not Fortnite specifically, but like anything else. I'm just like, oh, I'd rather do that than read, even though I love to read. But
yeah,
I will say though, like the Instagram live sprints, like they get you to read because you know you're being stared at.
yeah, exactly.
And you know it's not like the Twitter sprints where you can like start a Twitter sprint and then go do something that's not reading, and then act like you've been reading.
Yeah.
Like Instagram live sprints, like people are holding you accountable, and you know it.
And you can't like go on your phone because you're on your phone on Instagram Live, so that'll definitely.
I've never been a part of one of those. I'm excited to do that.
Yeah.
So fun. I wish we could do it more than 2 people though. That's so stupid.
Well, we could always do like a reading sprint live show on YouTube.
True. Got to end up with a bang.
Oh, that's what we should do. Especially because half the time the Instagram like live when I do it with somebody else, like my audio cuts out for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, let's try it on YouTube just to like end out with a bang. We gotta try all the special stuff.
Yeah, and that way like more than just 2 people can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys have any questions, like please feel free to ask in the chat because I am keeping an eye on it. If you see me looking down half the time, that's what I'm reading.
Me too. That's what I have on my phone right now.
Wouldn't that be so funny if we all did the like live sprints and all reading the group book at the same time? And then we see like everyone's like facial reactions like at different parts and like, oh my god, I can't wait to get to this page.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you guys ever had this problem, but like this always seems to happen to me, especially during read-a-thons. I get like a lot of migraines and I will finally have time to like sit down and read, and then I get blasted with a migraine. I can't look at a book. I can't look at the TV, like nothing. And I'm like, cool, that's the next several hours of my life gone that I could have been reading.
That's me, or I fall asleep. I mean, Red gets it. Like we both wake up like super early, like not as early as Red because she works at like you work at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something.
I work at 4, so I have to wake up at 3 a.m. almost every day.
I wake up at 3 or 3:30 because I work at 5. I like to get stuff done before work, so I fall asleep as soon as I get home at like 2. So I don't know how I'm going to do this read-a-thon. Thank God I'm not in school because I would read 2 books maybe.
And it used to be easier when I would like be off by like 9 o'clock or something, so then I could come home, I'd nap, and be up by like 1 or whatever. But now like I work so much, so I work like the 8-hour shifts. So by the time I get home, I'm so tired. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm hoping I'll still be able to like sneak in some naps and stuff so that I can like actually be half a human enough to read like at least for a few hours in the afternoon and like kind of into the evening before I go to bed.
We have a question. Our question is from Emma Reads Things, and she's asking, what video challenges are each of us planning on doing?
Just mine. If I do any, I'm going to do it because my thing is like vlogs. I'm going to vlog the week because I'm the last day. And so if I do any video challenges, I'll probably be like within the vlog, just so like the vlog's not really boring.
Yeah.
I'm planning on doing 5 out of the 8 or 9.
Oh, 5's really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my host day, obviously.
Right.
And then I'm gonna do the recreate a cover, the makeup challenge, the throwback challenge, and then the vlog. And then I'm hoping to daily vlog. We will see how that goes.
You're doing DIY, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
As always.
I'm excited to see what you're going to come up with for that.
I actually did it today. It turned out really cute.
And then I'm doing obviously my host day, which is the throwback challenge. And so I guess, that could be any number of different things. But that's all done and taken care of at this point. So I got that done. I might try to do whose day is it? Is it Brittany's that has the makeup challenge?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
The bookish makeup challenge or whatever that we have. I'm going to try and do that one. I don't know if I'm going to have time. If I do, it'll probably be like super last minute. I had an idea for the primetime challenge. Like, I was so excited for it, and I was basically had rewritten this entire song as a parody and everything, and I'd like got all the lyrics sorted out, and I had all these ideas. I don't think that I'm going to realistically have time to be able to do it with the Bibliothon starting in 2 days, and again, my hours increased at work, and I just don't see how I can feasibly get that done, because it would be a very intensive video to film. It probably wouldn't look like it if you watched it, but like to do it would take a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm only doing my host day, and that's because I don't really do BookTube any longer. I am really excited about it, though, doing the music video challenge. I'm really excited to watch everyone's videos because it's always been my favorite through all the years. It's so fun to watch. I love to see what people do. And I'm also excited about the song we did. So
also, I think that is it still no, because that wasn't on the Bibliothon channel, I don't think, right? Was it?
What?
Is that not on the internet anymore? The like OG music video for you and Selena?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it might be private.
Are we allowed to upload that to the Bibliothon as like a throwback? Like, we have to have this. Like,
if I can find it on my computer, I can send it to you guys and you can do whatever.
Yeah, and maybe like not during the Bibliothon because I don't want people to get confused, but maybe once the Bibliothon is over, because I like to watch it from time to time and I don't have to wait. So for those of you who were not around a couple years ago for the Bibliothon, Sierra and Selena did this iconic music video that completely parodied Twilight, and it is pretty much literally, I think I still have the song like in my song list. I'm pretty sure that it's literally my playlist because I have this distinct memory of being in the car with I think we were like literally like heading out bar hopping or something like that with like a group of like friends who have no idea about the BookTube stuff at all, right? And so the beginning of the song starts to play, and of course, because it's a parody of a real song that at the time you would have heard on the radio, I didn't realize which version it was when it started playing in my car. And all of a sudden, like, Sierra and Selena's lyrics come through and they start playing. And I just remember my friend in the backseat is like, "What is that?" And that was a strange one to have to explain. But that video is iconic. We will try to see to getting that uploaded, if for nothing else, for nostalgia's sake, and it deserves to exist on the internet.
Yeah, I look on my channel right now, and if it's on mine, I can just make it public.
Yes, I highly recommend like you go and watch it because it is just like like tweet it out on the Bibliothon, be like, this is what we're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Just post it like 5 years later, like just in case you forgot about us.
So good. If you wanna see Bella and Edward battle it out, this is the video for you.
It was a fun one.
What is everyone's favorite? This is a question. What's everyone's favorite memory of the readathon over the years? If you have one specific memory.
That's tough.
It's tough. Let me think for a second.
I think mine was being so excited to be asked to join it, because when Kelly messaged me, because I have a tweet. I wonder if I can still find it somewhere.
Is it the one where you're like, I'm a girl now?
Yeah, I will retweet it on the Bibliothon's Twitter if I can find it. But it's like, my dream is to like be a Bibliothon girl, and then like a couple months later, Kelly pops up in my DM. She's like, "Hey, you want to be a Bibliothon girl?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I was so hyped to ask you because I knew you wanted to be one so bad. I was excited.
Yeah,
honestly,
like I had experience.
Kelly's like, "Dylan."
Yeah, like I've had experience with readathons, obviously, like in the past, but like I don't know. I've always done the Bibliothon for like the majority of years, because that's how I felt like that's how I found Emma. That's how I found BookTube. And so the Bibliothon is why I'm here today.
So cute.
What about you, Sierra? 'Cause I'm not ready yet.
I would say my favorite memory is just, I mean, the whole experience is like such a large memory in my life. And I remember like watching it grow, because I wasn't a host for like the very first one, because I wasn't a booktuber at that point in time. And then I decided to become a booktuber because I was friends with a lot of people that were doing it already, you guys. And so I made like 2 videos, and then for some odd reason, they asked me to be a host, and I was like, okay. And like, I remember when we first started, like people participated, but like not a lot. Like I think on my host day, I only had to watch like 20 or something videos that day, like that people participated in, which was like so exciting at that point in time. And then like as each one happened, like so many people were participating, and like even doing like Twitter sprints, like just so many people were participating. It was like so exciting. I was like, this is so cool. Everyone's reading with us. And I loved watching everyone's videos because it like gets everyone out of their comfort zone, you know, because everyone has like the videos they like to film. So like they do like hauls or TBR or, you know, those kind of things. And like a lot of people, I would say, don't usually do a lot of skits unless they're challenged to. So it's just cool to see like people branch out of their comfort zone and, I don't know, create something awesome.
I would definitely agree with that. And it's like amazing because we focus so much on books. I mean, it's BookTube. People have a lot of talents.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like there are people with amazing talents. I'm like spacing on the name of her channel off the top of my head, but she was actually a winner for one of my challenges. I can't remember which one some kind of like artsy like book one. Anyway, so she wrote a song for Shatter Me, and she like played the piano beautifully. She sang beautifully, and she wrote this beautiful song. Or you got Paula, who has been like an OG participant since day one, and she can draw incredibly. Like you just see so many people with so many different talents, and you sort of get the chance to kind of see that, you know, because you guys are freaking special. You're amazing. Also, Gemma, good night. And I'm so happy that your first video was a Bibliothon video. Like something about that is just like so heartwarming. Like I get so like, I don't know, attached. I get very attached to you guys. My favorite memory, it's still really difficult because I feel like I have different memories for different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Seriously, yeah.
Like I remember I mean, it's not technically like a Bibliothon memory so much. It was the first time we basically had almost all of the Bibliothon hosts in one place for VidCon.
Yeah.
We were literally like all together, and it was. And again, I know it technically wasn't during Bibliothon or anything, but you had like all the Bibliothon hosts in one place.
We got to actually take a group picture together.
Yeah, I know that one that's just like us screenshotted together.
You know, or remember we I don't even think it ever made the light of day, but remember when we tried to do the dance video for all the small things?
Oh, that totally
that did totally did we actually post it? I couldn't remember if we did.
That was on my channel, and that was a shit show.
Yeah, it was not great, but
we were all so tired, like no one wanted to do it, and I was like, please, come on.
I think our feet were still killing us from VidCon prom.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like that one really stands out. I feel like a lot of the things that stand out are sometimes just things like almost in preparation for the Bibliothon. Mm-hmm. Like I remember one year I was actually visiting Allie from Little Librarian, and I was staying with her, and that happened to be right before the Bibliothon. So we decided to do a couple of videos together, which I still like. I watch them and I still crack up, but part of it is like it was probably the funnest I'd ever had filming a video ever. Pretty much it was like nothing about it was stressful. It was literally just like nonstop laughing the entire time. Like I can't even tell you how many bloopers we had and how many times we had to stop because we would just be dying laughing. And I think the videos themselves are pretty damn funny in my opinion, but part of it was just the actual experience of it, like in prepping for these videos. So to this day, those are some of my favorite Bibliothon videos that I ever did because I have such happy like memories associated with creating them. Also, I love it when I do the like the adventure Twitter sprints, and I don't know if any of you have ever done them with me when I've done them, but I basically set them up in a way where like the reading challenges are like a choose your own adventure story.
Fun.
So that, sort of like compels you to keep reading during the sprint. And of course it takes like hours to do, but you guys get so into it and it makes me so freaking happy. Like, I don't know. It's just really fun. Whether we're going on through, like, it's just always like weird stories. Like, oh, we're all going through a haunted house together, or oh, we're going on this fantasy adventure and we come across a witch.
Yeah.
And like just weird stuff. Somehow it ends up being really fun.
I think my favorite part of the Bibliothon every time is the live sprints, just because it's like, I don't know, just like a cozy, like little reading party. I don't know. It seems like we're all like just hanging out, just chilling, just, I don't know. It's just, I find it really fun for some reason. I don't know. It's just like
a fireplace in the background.
I think my favorite memories is kind of a lot like VidCon for sure. I was going to say VidCon, but also along the lines of what Sierra was saying. Like the first two Bibliothons stick out so much to me because we were all so focused on making sure we did the video challenges, read everything, did the reading sprints, and we were hyped and we were talking about all the videos that we were seeing people post. And so I felt I like kind of our first year of Bibliothon. I think that was a really exciting time.
I'm catching up on the chat.
What a book? Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, you go. You're good.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Went right out of my head.
Oh, okay. Is there a book on y'all's TBR that you're like, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not? Or like, or one you feel like you're, like one that you're kind of worried about, that you're kind of hesitant? I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it does. I'm just thinking. Honestly, I feel like for the most part, I feel like I chose basically all books that I really want to read. Like I mean, my TBR is already up, so I don't really feel weird about saying it, but because I loved The Cruel Prince, so I feel pretty calm. The Wicked King. I'm suddenly mixing up my titles. I have the Savage Song, and I have pretty consistently loved Victoria Schwab's other books, so I don't feel too nervous about that. Daisy Jones, I know that I love, so that's kind of a shoo-in. And then the graphic novels, I think they'll be fun and fairly easy, so I'm not too worried about those.
I think for me is like the one I picked based on the cover, because I literally know nothing about it besides, so like if this one, Hunted Amber Fang, I just picked up my old library and it says Librarian Assassin Vampire on the cover, which like, okay, that sounds pretty cool, but also like I can't judge a book just by its tagline. So like I don't know what it's about, and so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of terrible. Or like my poetry book, because okay, let's be honest, I can be a little dumb sometimes. So sometimes
I feel you.
Sometimes poetry takes me a little bit to like understand what it's saying, even though it's just like, just like a little bit on each page. So it may take me like a week just to read this little poetry book when I thought it's going to be the easiest book for me to read. So we'll see how that goes. So that's what I'm worried about. It's just like not being able to finish this stupid poetry book, even though it's so short. Being not able to finish it in 9 days.
I am actually really worried about our group book. I was reading the synopsis about it, and even when we were choosing it, it's not really something that sounds very far up my alley, and I'm also struggling with reading lately. Like I'm still reading, I just am not reading as frequently as I was when I was doing BookTube, mostly because of work and teaching and stuff. So I just am worried about like trying to dive into a book that I already am not sure about and trying to finish it. I'm like, I'm gonna be struggling, but should be okay. Fingers crossed.
It's also
It might
pretty
be-
long.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but like I feel like the print is pretty big on the pages, though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like one of those like really tiny, like some books are. I have another book I'm trying to get through it now. It's like that. I'm like, oh, it's thicker, but maybe it won't be so bad. And then I opened it and I almost wanted to cry. It might not be so bad though, because normally I am not into sci-fi space books like at all. But I'm kind of excited to read it, mostly because of who the authors are. Because Jay Kristoff specifically, and I have not read his books yet. But Jay Kristoff specifically, like people seem to love, even people who are like pretty hard like critics on books, seem to love his books. So I'm kind of hoping that that's going to make me like enjoy the book and compel me to get through the book.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's super long though. But I heard the audiobook is going to be really good. Like I've heard people talk about how good it is, so I'm going to try that and see. And if you listen to it on 2 times speed, it's a 14-hour audiobook. So 2 times speed, you can get there in 7 hours.
Nothing can ever be worse than Paper Towns.
Oh my god.
I remember dying reading that book the whole week. I was like, we're still reading this? I hate it.
I remember recently talking about that book. I think I was out at the bookstore with somebody, and I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but I saw Paper Towns like there. It was like in the John Green section. And I was like, oh, I hated that book. And they're like, really? It's my favorite John Green book. I'm like, who are you? Like, oh. I was like, why are we friends?
That's a good question. What's your least favorite group book we've done in the past?
Paper Towns with oh my god, what is it? The Unexpected Everything is a very close second.
Oh, I love The Unexpected Everything.
Morgan Matson, of course you loved it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's like,
I didn't like that one either. I didn't like that either.
It's funny because I don't actually like contemporary anymore. I never read contemporary.
How funny.
Yeah, it's very, like my entire TBR is paranormal, sci-fi, thriller. That's it.
Yeah,
paranormal and thriller. That's up my alley.
Yeah, I was like,
I love thriller.
Yeah, you're reading The Devouring Grey. Oh my god.
So excited
Girl,
for it.
you better message me as you read that book.
Oh, because
I'm
so hyped for it. So hyped.
That is my drug. I love that.
Yeah, the Chalk Man gives me it vibes, and so I'm really excited to read that.
Yeah, Kayla really liked that one, so
that's the reason I picked it up, because I saw that she liked it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I pretty much know at this point. I know I've been holding me close, so it distracts me. But I know that. Where was I going with this? Oh my gosh. I don't read like YA contemporaries at all anymore. Not because there's anything wrong with them. They're fine, but I still enjoy YA, but like it has to almost fit. Like, I don't know. It has to just like not be contemporary, mostly because a lot of like YA contemporaries usually take place in high school and stuff. And when I was closer to that age, I was all about that. But at this point, like I've been graduated almost 10 years, and so I'm just not there mentally anymore. So I'm just really not able to enjoy them anymore. And it's not really the fault of the book so much as I just have to recognize that I'm beyond that point in my life. I can still read like YA fantasies and, horror and things like that, and it's fine. But it just, if it's going to be contemporary, it has to be adult, or I just can't look at it because I know that I will not be able to enjoy it the way I should.
Me too.
That's where I am too. Yeah.
It's so weird because now reading anything YA, because sometimes I still do like for work, so I can recommend stuff and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'll read it and it's like a contemporary YA, and I'm thinking to myself the whole time, like, God, these are 16-year-olds, and like now I'm at this point in my life where like if that was my kid, I'm like all pissed off about it. I'm like, ugh, how dare they? I'm like now at that parent point, and I'm like, yeah,
because like so this shelf right here behind me, this is like books that like my immediate TBR, like after the read-a-thon, like what I want to read.
Mm-hmm.
One of these is YA, which like 2 years ago that was not me. But now, like, it has to be very specific for me to like it. And, like, Radio Silence I recently read and loved. But that also has to do a lot more of, like, university. So, like, it doesn't really focus on high school whatsoever. And so, I don't know. I can't do high school stuff anymore. It's just, because I've been out of high school for 3 years now, 3 or 4. they're just like, I don't know. It can be a lot sometimes for me.
Isn't it interesting how, because like we've mostly all been on BookTube for around 5 years or so.
Yeah.
How much BookTube has changed in the fact that we've all gotten older at the same time, and so now our tastes have changed, and so what's popular has changed.
Right. Weird.
Well, and I feel like, I mean, like, I'm 27, and I feel like my reading has just been so weird because I didn't really read YA when I was a teenager. I wasn't totally aware of it as a genre. I read Twilight because everybody read Twilight. But that was about it. Like, I didn't really read. I might have read like a couple of Ellen Hopkins books in high school. But for the most part, like, I read adult books. Like, I definitely, I was always very close with my mom. Like, my mom was like what initiated the start of my love of reading for me, like at a very young age. So I just remember like feeling so like trying to craft what I wanted to read based on the books that I knew she liked. And most of the time that was like, you know, psycho thrillers and horror. So I was reading like a lot of Stephen King, and there was some Ted Dekker in there. And there was just like, I know Kelly knows my Ted Dekker stuff, but, you know, so that's what I was reading. Like, I would literally be in class and I'd be reading like Stephen King books. And that's honestly like what I knew. It wasn't even like, oh yeah, I'm like too good for YA. I didn't know what the hell YA was. I did not know that was thing. And,
well, to be fair, YA wasn't a huge thing like before. I would say BookTube really changed the game for YA because like, it was around, but like it didn't start selling until we all were promoting it. Because there are books now, because I work in a library, there are books now that are totally for adults, but they still sell them as young adult. They just like cap the age at like 18 so that they can still sell it as young adult, even though there's totally adult things happening in it. And they do it specifically so they sell, which is insane that like as a community, like we did that for the publishing companies.
Yeah, even though like I think I saw YA books, but I didn't look at them and go, okay, YA books. Like it just did not register. They were just books or whatever. Like I remember seeing like the Mortal Instruments and stuff, but I never like had any interest in picking it up until like I saw the trailer for the movie, and I'm like, wait a minute, that seems cool, and I'm like, picked it up after that.
Well, so like when I was a teenager is when I started to be in the community, and so I think I was like 13 and 14, and so I grew up in my teen years reading YA because that's like what the community was back then. And like I still love YA as like community and like the books. Like a lot of my favorite books, We Are the Ants, my favorite book of all time. Guess what? It's a YA book. And I worked in a library, which I still wish I worked there, but I moved. I worked in a library in the teen section for 2.5 years. It was my favorite job of all time. Like I still will fight tooth and nail for YA. Anyone who like knocks it down, I'm there. Like, you know, fight me. I'm never gonna become one of those people that's like, I read real literature because like I read smut, so like I don't read real. You know what I mean? Like it's like, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with smut either. Like you know, it's still still a book. But I don't know. It's a lot for me.
Like, not to get like super like SJW here, but like, do you ever notice that it's really only books by women that ever get the term smut? Anything else, it's like, oh yeah, you're a hardcore man writer and you've got sex, drugs, and whatever, and like, you know, you're a real writer. But if a woman writes about sex, it's smut, and it's like,
so yeah, if it's by a man, it's called what's the word? Why can't it's called general fiction? Yeah. Or it's called literary fiction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like Call Me by Your Name. That's not called smut.
Right?
I could have a whole freaking live show.
I mean, it's just one of those things. Not that there's anything wrong with smut and romance, but like just because a woman writes it doesn't mean it's automatically those things.
Yeah.
No, like it's so like I just say smut is like any romance book just because I don't know.
It's for selling purposes. It's because the publishing they're just trying to sell.
And I'm asexual, so I don't even read it for that. Like I read romance books. But
they're fun.
Yeah.
They're easy read. Like the pace
like it's like
I read like 5 of them in 2 days. I mean, you read them so fast.
I remember like the first sort of like smut romance books I ever read were like these books that my friend had in high school. And really I didn't even realize that they were like, I mean, I should have because it had like the woman on the cover one time, but I really didn't. She basically just told me it was about pirates, and I like read it on this story about, I was like, oh cool, I'll read a book about pirates. And it was definitely a romance, and I was very taken aback, but I couldn't put them down. I freaking flew through them. And like,
yeah,
great books, but they were fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Honeymooners, it's like actually pretty well written. Like Christine and Lauren, actually, they're pretty decent writers. And I get to work an hour before we open, and so I get to listen to audiobooks, and I will not talk to one person at work until like when my earphones are in. Like, you will not talk to me while I'm listening to my Christine and Lauren, because it's so good. Like, starts my day off on a good note. I'm like laughing out loud, which hardly ever happens anymore when I read. And like, I don't know, people who are against romance, got some words for you, but I'm not gonna say them right now.
Like, it's 2019. Can we stop reader shaming? Like,
honestly,
right? Like, as long as you're reading, you're reading. Like, I'm reading freaking Diary of a Wimpy Kid at 20 years old.
Honestly, sometimes I still pick up middle grade books if it seems good.
Well, they're good books to get you out of a slump whenever you're struggling.
Oh yeah, seriously.
And there's one that's really well written too.
I've been reading, oh my gosh, Nevermore, which is a middle grade book, but it's really fun.
Yeah.
Is that by Neil Gaiman?
No, it's by somebody not Neil Gaiman. I don't remember.
It's like a magic school. It's got very much Harry Potter vibes to it.
Yeah, right? Like, if you were to combine, like, I don't know if you ever read the Charlie Bone books, but like, if you were to make, I loved those books when I was a kid, but it kind of gives me somewhere between like Harry Potter and Charlie Bone vibes, and like, I don't know.
I was thinking of Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
Ivy Aberdeen's Letters to the World by Ashley Herring Blake. One of the best books I've ever read. One of the best written books I've ever read. It's middle grade. It's also queer though, so like definitely, not your typical middle grade, but.
Love that.
I remember I actually took a class. Actually, so I took an English major, so I ended up taking like pretty like interesting classes. Like, my upcoming semester, I have a Stephen King class, and I'm like ecstatic for it. But during like my degree, like I took one, and it was a children's literature class, but I also took a young adult literature class, and those were so interesting. Like, the children's one like had me really like breaking down the I can't remember what they call it off the top of my head, but it's basically like it's like the call to adventure, right? Really breaking down the call to adventure in children's books. And it was really cool because I basically got graded to write about Harry Potter, so that was pretty badass. But it really like just gave me such an appreciation for children's literature, and really like the skill and the talent it takes to be able to write it. And same thing for YA. Like, I had to write papers every week in my YA class, and I pretty much spent it the entire time. Like, even if I don't really read YA anymore, with rare exceptions here and there, I will freaking defend it like with every last inch of my body. Like, that and graphic novels, because I was also like writing about the importance of graphic novels, that graphic novels are basically like a format, not necessarily a genre that people always think it is, and how all these categories face so much like they face so much criticism, but they're so important. And it's just one of those things where you don't get to like put the interests of young people down just because they belong to young people,
Right.
Yeah. And there's some real bad adult books out there too. So
right, you don't see us banning adult books, or
And one of
the problem is the wrong
popular one reward.
What?
The problem is the wrong, like, adults, if they have a problem with middle grade or young adults, do not need to be reading those books. Don't read them just to hate on them. That's one of those things that drives me crazy, is when people read a book knowing they're going to hate it, but read it so that they can hate on it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
That's why I don't read YA contemporary. Not because I think YA contemporary is bad, but I know I won't like it, so I'm not going to pick it up and be like, oh, it's bad because I don't like it.
Yeah.
Any more questions, anyone?
I know. Any questions? Side note, I did make that New Moon rap parody public. If anyone wants to go see it, it's on Sierra Reed's YouTube channel.
I will make sure to tweet it out because if you thought you were having a bad day, you will realize how great of a day it actually is.
It's very explicit though. Just saying. Not that like I think anyone really cares.
You don't like cuss words, because it does parody a very explicit hip hop song. So, but it's so good.
Thanks, Red. Hype me up.
You're my biggest fan.
Thanks.
I don't remember oh my gosh, who was I with? I don't remember. Was I with Cassie? I don't know. I was visiting someone, or they were visiting me. Maybe it was when Cassie and Mom were here. I don't really remember. But I just remember we were listening to music in the car, and I slipped that in there, and we all got down, and we all knew the words.
Yeah, I still have it on my phone, and I play it all the time still. To this day. It'll play in my car, and I'll be jamming. I'm like, dang, these lyrics are good.
Oh my gosh. And you two in that video, you're just hilarious. Selena's Edward in your Bella wig.
The Bella wig.
Mm-hmm. The Bella wig is famous among the Bibliothon hosts. Oh my god, you know what else? One that I loved, not as much as that one, but the one where you did Somebody That I Used to Know.
Oh my god, Selena and I were just talking about that. That video is embarrassing. We were full on. We looked full on.
You were totally naked. I mean, you couldn't see anything from here down. But yeah,
I remember filming that was hysterical too, because Selena just hit me, just texted me and was like, I have a video idea. Come over right now. Bring your sister so she can help adjust the camera and stuff. And I'm like, okay, sure. Do you need me to bring anything? She's like, yeah, bring the Harry Potter wig and your glasses and your wand. And I'm like, oh god, I'm playing Harry today. Okay, great. And so I get to her house and she's like, great, take your shirt off. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? She's like, well, you can wear your bra, but take your shirt off.
Oh my god.
And then she's rubbing eyeshadow on me. So if you guys have ever heard of the song what is it? Somebody I Used to Know. In the music video, they're just standing against the wall, singing, and they have weird paint on their faces. So we did the same thing, but it was hysterical. And we filmed that video in one night. It was nuts.
Oh my god, I love that video though. It's just too good. And with Selena and her Jacob tattoos.
So embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. So we actually have a question. It's on Thursday. What is the first book we'll be picking up?
Ooh.
I will be picking up Aurora Rising, because that is the most important book for me to get done. I always start with that because I'm so terrified I'll get busy and not finish anything, in which case if I finish one book, it should be that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if since I'm already cheating, I've already started one of my books. I guess it's technically the Unhoneymooners, but the first physical book I think will probably be lucky, just because it's going to be easy to get through. It's actually the longest one. It's it's only 270 pages, so not that long, but it's long for a read-a-thon for me, so yeah. I'm probably going to read that one first.
I'll probably start the audiobook for Aurora Rising, but also I'm going to try to read all of Every Heart or Doorway on Thursday, just because it's super short and it always helps me if I finish a book on the first day.
Yeah.
What? Sorry.
Did you answer?
I said Aurora Rising already.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you didn't you got a chance to answer. Somebody asked what our opinions are on War is a Racket by Smedley Butler. I have zero opinions because I have honestly never heard of that book before, so
I haven't either. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Crooked Kingdom. I'm actually technically gonna be reading I'm not really reading Crooked Kingdom for the Bibliothon, but technically I guess I'm going to be reading it during the Bibliothon, just because I noticed somebody answered that in the chat. Only because Katrina and I we read books to each other like over FaceTime. And so we were doing Crooked Kingdom a while back, and then we got busy and didn't FaceTime for like 3 months, and we forgot everything. So starting this Sunday, we're supposed to start over on that and start rereading that again. So I didn't really think about it, but I guess that's kind of technically partially on my TBR too, although I just remembered it. But it should be good. I loved Six of Crows. Loved it. That's an example of like YA books that I will read because I really loved Six of Crows. So.
Well, there's some YA books that are just written so well that you don't even notice it's YA.
They're the ones that totally could have been sold as adult if they had just said that their age was not 17.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I feel like we should probably sign off soon.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm catching up.
I don't know.
Nothing? Anyone? Hello? I know you guys are watching. It says on here.
Answering a lighthouse reader, I wouldn't say that you have to. However, because like Six of Crows is in the same universe and there are references to the first trilogy, I wouldn't say it's like absolutely necessary, but I kind of recommend it only because there's like most of the world building happens in the original Grisha trilogy. And so I sort of feel like Six of Crows is intended that you read the other one, if for nothing else, to understand like the magic system in the world and everything, which is not really explained in Six of Crows as much. It's just sort of assuming that you read the other trilogy so you know how this all works. So for clarity's sake, it might be easier if you read the Grisha trilogy first, but the story otherwise on its own stands apart. So hope that helped. If it makes it like harder. Like 24-hour readathons during the Bibliothon or 24-hour readathons in general?
Yeah, I saw that too. I was confused.
I feel like it might be really stressful to do it during the Bibliothon.
We've done it before. It is very stressful. Me and Dylan did a 24-hour.
Yeah, it's a lot.
No, not a good idea.
I will not, because I will be working, and I don't have like I don't get like specific weekends off or anything. My days off are broken up. Like I'll have like a Saturday and like maybe a Tuesday off. And so that makes it extremely hard for that. Plus waking up at 3 a.m. gives me a really like delicate like sleep schedule. So I don't think that I could like healthily, that's not a word, is it? Whatever, healthily do it like during the Bibliothon.
Thankfully, I have weekends off, so I could do it, but that's when I socialize. So
you work at Panera and you have weekends off? That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, because they need me. So if they can't have me,
you could ask for whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see. I know we kind of talked about it, but I'll go through it really quickly. I have my TBR. So Dylan, me, and Kelly all have our TBRs on our channels. So definitely go check those out if you want to hear us talk about what we'll be reading. Sierra doesn't have a channel, so or not anymore. So she won't have a TBR up, but she's reading Aurora Rising and Daisy Jones and the Six, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks, Red. You're the best.
I'm reading Girls on the Verge, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, this weird librarian vampire book, This Boy is a Rainbow.
I love that you have them all like on hand.
The Honeymooners and Aurora Rising, if I can get it from the library in time.
I got mine from the library. I was not going to spend money on that.
Use your libraries, kids.
Apparently it's on Scribd, so if you don't have a trial of Scribd already, you can get your first month.
Oh, really? I didn't know it
was on there. Yeah, that's what I saw in the chat.
Library, especially if you work there, you get like you get extended time. So
I actually don't get extended time.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Do you get on like physical books?
What do you mean?
Do you get like physical like checkouts?
Oh yeah. But
Oh,
like
okay, cool.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean I could extend them further for myself if I wanted to, but I don't.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah. We'll have our library talks sometime because I miss talking about libraries.
Oh yeah. It's my life every single day.
Used to be my life, but now I work at Panera.
That's fun. Bread is nice.
Yeah.
Just to answer Lightroom Reader's question. So after this Bibliothon, like that is completely, I don't know if you mean like us Bibliothon hosts like as together or if you mean like us separately. But like after this Bibliothon and once we get all the winners and everything posted, like that's it. There will be no more book club. There will be no more readathons of any kind. Like the Bibliothon will just, the only way it exists is just the videos, but that will still have like posted. As far as separately, I mean, I guess I'm sure that some of us at some point will participate in various 24-hour readathons. Usually Katrina and I will host like a 24-hour readathon, like, sort of impromptu one. So it's just varied. There's nothing like organized at that point beyond the Bibliothon, if that kind of makes sense. Like Dylan, in 2 months might go, hey, somebody's hosting a 24-hour readathon. Like, that sounds cool, except he won't. But
I would say if you're interested in anything future-wise, just follow everyone separately because Bibliothon-wise is going to be inactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Kelly have an account, but we don't really do it as much anymore. But 24-hour-a-thon on Twitter.
I mean, the problem is I don't even upload on YouTube hardly anymore, so I've got to get my life together.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back in the swing of things with readathons.
Yeah.
I mean, Katrina and I, we do host readathon. I guess like readathon. It's called Drop Everything and Readathon, and I'm genuinely not trying to plug it. It's just, I mean, but if you want to join it, like, it's cool. But basically, it's literally like a readathon that we do that just pops up anytime, and it hasn't been in months because we're both busy. But like sometimes we do like pop up like readathons there. I know there's a lot of people do a lot of readathons now, so it's really cool. Like I feel like you have so many options for readathons now throughout the year. And I remember when we used to have like maybe like 3 or 4 readathons at any given time, and we were one of them.
Well, and also if you want to participate in a readathon very similar to ours that has video challenges, obviously you can do the Reading Rush that does video challenges, Instagram, all of that stuff. So
yeah, and there's a lot of really creative ones now if you want sort of that very like big, like almost community style that I feel like we've attempted to nurture with this one. They have the Book Junkie Trials, which very, very much does that. That's actually, I believe, currently going on now. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. Oh my gosh, what's the other one that's the Owls?
The Owl.
Yeah, the Owls does that too.
Oh yeah, that one's so good.
There's also
They also have the Biblio games, right? All of those are not only readathons, but they've attempted to do something they're not 24-hour, but they've attempted to do something creative with it so that you're getting a lot of reading done, but you're also nurturing like that community spirit of those readathons. So I highly recommend those.
Which is why we feel a little bit better about leaving this now, because like readathons have grown so much in the last couple of years. Like there's literally always one happening, either how big or how small or whatever. And they're all so creative now too. So it's not like there's just like the typical, like here's your challenges, read. Like there's so many going on right now. So it's not like we're leaving you with no readathons.
Yeah, every time I think like, no, okay, nobody can possibly come up with something different anymore. We've done it for every holiday, like it seems like somebody still manages to come up with a really cool idea. Like the BookTube community is it's just so creative, and I'm just, even when I'm not participating in them, I feel like I'm like always like rooting for them because they're just so cool. Like
it's evolved so much, because when we first started this, the only other readathon really was Booktubeathon, and I remember like we had some deep discussions about like how do we make this so they don't think we're like copying their idea. And, like Booktubeathon, because we were.
Now it doesn't even matter.
Now it doesn't even matter. It's crazy because there's just so much stuff going on.
And also Katrina, she still have it on her website, I think, littlebookowl.com maybe? She has like
she does have a
calendar. Yeah, she has a calendar of like for I think
Everything.
every month she posts it. Also on Twitter, I think too, she posts all the readathons happening that people submit, and there's always like a ton on there.
That's so much work. Awesome.
I know she's a mad woman.
Also, I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this, but Katrina actually finally released this like spreadsheet where you can track your progress throughout readathons for pages and whatnot, and it's really, really well done. So if you're one of those people where you're, oh my gosh, I had like a hiccup. Sorry. But if you're one of those people where you're really big into like tracking your pages, she even has like a converter, so you can actually convert your audiobook minutes into page count, so you can add like audiobook minutes to your page count overall instead of having to like divide it up. And it's really, really good. It's there's a little bit of a learning curve to it, and I've used it in the past, and it's really effective. And the fact that she happened to release it before the Bibliothon, I don't know if she planned that or not, but if you're into that stuff and you're like a hyper organized person when it comes to that stuff like I am, like I definitely recommend it. And she has a whole video explaining on it, so definitely worth checking out at the very least.
I might have to use that because maybe the stats will motivate me. Motivate me
It's
to
really
actually
satisfying. It's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's on her YouTube channel on Little Book Owl, and she also tweeted it too. So.
And if you're like, I know on my Bibliothon vlogs, like I always try to post my page count like in text at the end of each day's vlog. And it's so much easier to be able to track like what pages I read on what days. Even if I end up just posting a week-long one, sometimes it runs together. I'm like, how many pages did I read at the end of day one? I don't know. And that tells me.
Yeah. So that will.
So if you're vlogging, it makes your life a lot easier.
I think I'll do like a little bit on my vlog for my challenge and like test it out, and we'll see how it goes for that week. It'll be a little test run. So
fun.
I'll put it to use definitely this next week. So I'm excited. I've already started vlogging a little bit because I'm kind of already started reading, but now I know that's a thing. I'll use that.
You cheater.
I know. I cheat every time though, so it's fine.
You know, because I mean, none of us have ever cheated on the group books at all, ever.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm sorry, we have a live show to make. I mean, we try really hard to, like, most of us, I think, do a pretty good job of, like, getting it in during the readathon. But, like, if I knew that it was taking place during a particularly busy week, I might have started it, like, a day in advance or something if I knew I wasn't going to have time.
You know, whatever you got to do, you know?
Yeah. You know, especially when you, like I said, when you have a live show to make and you have, like, a commitment you have to make, it's like, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, but humans like numbers. It's psychology. I would also argue that's numerology. All right. Is that the cue that we should wrap this
I think so.
Probably so.
Because I have to wake up at 3 a.m.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm so excited for Thursday to start. I'm excited to see all your guys' videos and read with you, even though I'm assuming most of you are going to read a lot more than I am. Proud of you already.
Watch her read like 7 books.
Casually.
Oh my gosh. Just because you don't expect it, it'll happen.
And this is our last hype show.
Last
Oh my
time.
gosh, yes.
Thanks for having me. It's been a long time.
I know, I'm so happy you were able to make it. And honestly, Kelly and Dylan too, because I never talk to you guys anymore.
I'm sorry. I've been MIA.
I know.
I started reading again, so hopefully soon I'll be talking about books again.
So definitely follow. I mean, I'm sure if you're here, you are already following the Bibliothon channel, but make sure that you're following not only like the Bibliothon Twitter, because that is our go-to place for updates and announcements, because, you know, it's an easy way to get you guys information fast. But I also recommend following the hosts on Twitter and whatnot, because you'll be getting updates from us there, just on our own various progresses and whatnot. So yeah, I'm super excited to start it in a couple of days. And I'm like still really sad, so it's weird and it hasn't set in, but I'm excited. And I'm glad that we got to do this and answer your questions and everything. So all right, I guess that's it. Bye everyone. It was great talking to you.